to the
Hello.
week whatever this is, SpyParty Cast.
Week 5. The halfway point.
It's something, yeah.
Yeah, however many points someone has now after this week, just double it, and that's what they're on pace for. Nice and easy for those of us who don't like math.
Okay, good. So welcome to week 5. I apologize profusely that we're starting so late. I was supposed to host tonight, but then Father's Day happened and technical difficulties happened, and then my computer crashed.
I feel like you could have led with that computer crash part, actually, before Father's Day, but I guess it's probably related.
No, it was Father's Day was the reason I was coming in hot. And then
Right.
there was technical issues getting things set up, and then it was a mess.
Got it.
Anyway, cameraman is here to save us, and everything is fine.
Thank you, cameraman.
Yes,
You are our
yes.
only hope.
Thank me, praise me.
Wait, that was creepy. Okay.
But yes, we're starting out this week with Scallions versus Elvisnake. Does anyone have picks and bans for that, or you just want to dive right in?
It's up to you, Tobo. What do you think?
Yeah, I've got picks and bans pulled up. We may as well go through things real quick. Elvisnake bans New Art Veranda 5 of 8. Scallions bans Softail High Rise. Elvisnake bans the other veranda, so no veranda. And Scallions bans the other high rise, so none of that either.
Both players being very thorough, making it very clear they don't want to play those maps in any form.
Match will start with Elvisnake's pick on Panopticon 5 of 8. Scallions counters with Ballroom 4 of 8. Elvisnake picks Double Modern A3 of 5, which should be interesting.
Yeah,
and
very.
Scallions grabs Gallery 4 of 7.
Pretty exciting maps. Very good for drama. So I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Either way, no matter what happens, it should be good. Cameraman, do you want to count us in?
Yes, starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
Scallions, of course, starting things off on the... Okay.
Okay.
Very smart
Good.
shot there.
Good start. Okay. Sure. I wonder if that was like a hallucinated bug or just
orange. No. It was definitely.
It was just
orange stress.
Yeah.
It was just straight up meta.
Yeah. Elvisnake went for the meta shot and he lost.
Scallions went for it. That's what's actually surprising about it to me.
No, that was
Scallions is
Snake.
supposed to be.
Scallions was on Spy. What?
Wait.
Okay.
So we both got an orange dress shot, but you had Scallions on Sniper?
I'm not sure. Don't worry about it. Continue.
Okay.
I don't know what's going
on
on.
to the next. Okay, good start.
Okay, starting in.
Ready, sir.
Starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, hopefully we'll actually get a game this time.
Yeah, hopefully
Snake
it'll
on
be
the
some kind
Spy.
of I've always thought that the solution to all the orange dress meta is literally to just forget about it. Ignore it. Don't get sucked into that. I mean, here's the thing. Statistically speaking, it is best case scenario is it's random. You know, The worst case scenario is that Scallions is actually somehow better than you at it, in which case you're at a disadvantage. So just play normally.
Interesting note, I believe Elvisnake is playing as the second most shot old art character next to Orange Dress.
Yeah, I remember Checker posted some stats. They're fairly old now, but I'd like to think they're probably still true and would probably still hold. And you gotta wonder, if it's just standing out too much. I once read that red-colored cars are actually stolen more than other ones, so maybe it's the same thing here with jackets.
Elvisnake pieces out with a red book right in view of the laser, but looks like he's going back for the flirt.
Red book's also stolen more than other color books.
Good to know. Does get a 51% flirt, but has to put the book away. We're already down to 2 minutes and 50 left on the clock, and we only have that one flirt to show for it. A lot of A lot of stuff going on as far as Elvisnake is doing, a lot of activity, but very little progress, and he has to take a time ad to compensate. Ooh, and may have gotten caught on it too. That's not a good thing.
I was actually wondering if he was already a big suspect because he bailed with that book pretty quick. If I see someone do that, I am tunneling hard on them on Panoptum.
Absolutely. And getting possibly caught on the time ad after that, certainly not a good start. Scallions,
I think he's in big trouble.
Scallions was given a gift by Elvisnake at the start, but it looks like Scallions might be taking full advantage here. Statue swap, this should...
Yeah, it's too early in the game. It's not the last mission or anything.
This is either... Well, he hasn't... Well, there he goes. Yep, that's going to be it. That is a strong start for Scallions.
Yeah, 2-0, one free game in the first one, and I don't want to call the second one a free game, but just very aggressive. Did not get particularly close to finishing either.
Yeah.
2 easy wins, let's say.
Yep. Elvisnake has not found his stride yet, that's to be sure. But we are stepping in to Ballroom 4 of 8. Let's see if he can start picking up some games here, especially on the sniper side.
Starting this in 3, 2, 1, go.
Scallions playing Smallman as well.
Still underrated. I actually think we're slowly getting to the point where the meta on the shorter character is similar to the Papa Danger, where it's just becoming inherently suspicious because he's so good at hiding certain things. The only thing you really give up is that it's more obvious without looking in close who Toby is offering the drink to. That's the only real downside that I can see.
49% on the first flirt, still in range for the 2 flirt, but now in a conversation with the ST at a distance, so might just be... Yep. Green test on the second as well, but couldn't get in close enough. 84% is where we're sitting.
Yeah, that's enough. If you're keeping busy on Ballroom, you don't need good flirts. It's okay. You know, you can just resign yourself to 3 flirting, especially when one of the first ones is good.
And now we've guaranteed the 3 flirt. Without wasting too much time on it either. Does get a highlight.
Some people highlight the shorter gentleman just because he's hard to see. So I don't know if that's the case here or not.
Either way, Banana Bread comes off. It was a very stacked conversation. I believe that's 2 lowlights on the board. Going for a possible bug path, opts against. Stepping into bookcase instead. Let's see what he does with this.
Exactly the over-under for Ballroom right now.
Picks up a fingerprint, which is always nice to see. Fingerprints that are not bookcase fingerprints are surprisingly powerful as long as you're not directly following. And even if you are directly following, it's not nearly as obvious as when you're just picking up a fingerprint. Center statues now.
Now, it's good that he hasn't already been shot. He took a path near the Amba. He's already highlit. He's heard the Banana Bread, and he's at center statues. So that's a good sign.
It is indeed looking
Wouldn't
to
have been
finish
shocking
up
to see a shot there.
Looking to finish up his flirt here, and then likely step into the statue the ambassador has to finish up the inspect and pick up that fingerprint, and that'll be all 4 missions done.
Suspicious he is a fingerprint. If he's already looking for it, this will take the shot. This will take the shot right here. But if he's not, this could be the win.
It's a pretty strong finish. Let's see how suspicious Elvisnake is. Fingerprint is done. The shot comes off.
I am dead wrong.
Is on to it.
So I got to give Elvisnake a lot of credit there. I wasn't giving him enough credit because I figured that if he were going to shoot, it would have been right away. But obviously, the best thing you can do is to wait. To wait until they're at least possibly done. If you think he's fingerprinting and inspecting to win, give it 5 or 6 seconds after it starts, just to be safe. See if you see anything else. And I wasn't sure if he was going to do that. I thought he would just, maybe after the first 2 games, be a little jumpy. But he showed me he was very patient and took the shot when he had to, and not before.
Well, let's be honest, that was his first real sniper game.
Yeah.
And he played it pretty well. It's very easy to try to, if you'll pardon the pun, jump the gun a little bit on the sniper side, but waiting that little bit before the shot comes off, maybe it's patience, maybe it's just confirming to himself that this is the shot that he wants to take, but either way, it worked out beautifully for Elvisnake. Has a chance to tie things up here on the Spy side.
Yeah, sometimes you're right. It's just indecision rather than patience. It could be either way. SpyParty has a way of making both good and bad decisions look like the other thing. You know, sloppiness can look smart, smartness can look like hesitation, and vice versa, all that.
All right, we're starting this next ballroom in 3, 2, 1, and go.
Elvisnake starting things out with a drink in hand. A little bit of a weird path away from his first conversation, but unlikely to be caught as he steps in for his first flirt.
Yeah, if you're watching for that kind of thing, it's pretty bad, but you're usually going to get away with it. Only gets a white flirt out of it, though.
33% is not too bad, not too super snuggly, but certainly at a bit of a distance, so even a sniper who's looking for that kind of thing likely isn't going to pair them.
And the ST obliges by leaving a little bit.
Nice
Ooh.
little wrong arm bug at a 45-degree angle, perfectly away from the sniper. Yep, that was gorgeous.
I was looking at it from Scallion's side, and I was staring right at it just to see if he did it, and I still wasn't sure if I saw it. It was that good.
Those little angles are so hard to actually go for on the Spy side, but when you get them right, they're almost impossible to spot, and Elvisnake did it perfectly. That's going to give him a huge edge moving forward in this game.
Yeah, now he really needs to press his advantage. He's in a great position. Yeah, you got to go finish up that flirt, keep moving. The last thing you want to do is get away with your hardtail and then not finish.
And 66% on the flirt. We're going to have to make sure we're nice and snuggly for the last one because he's currently only at 33 distance, so we can't timer flirt. Doesn't want to anyways. He steps away into center statue to pick up his inspects.
I like this. I like going for the center statue early when you've already got your hardtail done.
Agreed.
Early being a relative term. Don't wait. Don't go with a minute left where he might shoot just for that, especially if he senses that he's behind, which a good sniper often will. Shot.
Even better that he's able to find a fingerprint off of that and should be able to step in to finish up the flirt right here and now. Oh, that's too far away though. He needs a green test from here.
Oh dear. This is very big with 1:20 left.
Doesn't get
it.
Brutal. 96%. Elvisnake, you can see by the camera movement he's mad at himself, but that's okay. We've still got 1:10. Sit back. Wait for this double agent, get the DA, and then go back for the flirt.
I talked earlier about an aggressive shot if the sniper knows they're behind. If they know they're behind and they see someone's been a center statue and hear a BB, he really might shoot. If you can get this fingerprint instead, and you never give him a BB as a cue for the shot, you stand a much better chance, if the opportunity presents itself.
This is very true. My point is we still have time to pick up this last flirt. We don't know where this fingerprint is going to come from yet as we step in the blue bookcase. It's not going to be from the briefcase, but he is able to get it from a book, takes the blue book away with him. Nothing wrong with that, but the seduction target is not kind. We could take it back to blue book now.
I'll take the 3 at shelves. Not that bad.
3 at small shelves as well. Gets the flirt off.
Beautiful. Yeah, he should be fine here. What a win.
It all worked out. It was a little hairy at the end, but pretty beautifully played from Elvisnake. And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings us back to a tie game, 2-2.
It was a little hairy at the end, but it ended up so smooth. 2 fingerprints, no BB, and both fingerprints non-briefcase variety. So very good party awareness from Elvis. I don't know about you. I'm just going to admit, half the time when I get a fingerprint, it's by mistake. I pick up a statue and it says fingerprint statue, and I go, oh, sure, I had no idea. Same thing with books sometimes. And then I'll change up a little bit based on the surprise fingerprint. But it was obvious because he got 2 non-briefcase fingerprints that he had very good party awareness that game. And it means that the BB never had to go off, so he never had to take that risk of an aggressive shot. He got away with the hardtail and just pressed his advantage and just wore the game down.
And literally the only thing he did wrong that entire game was not snuggling up on the 3rd flirt. Other than that, it was flawless.
Gave him a little bit more drama than was necessary there, but he played it really cool in getting that second fingerprint and finishing anyway.
All right, now we move on to Double Modern in E3 of 5. The objective worst balcony map. And we're going to be starting this in 3, 2, 1, go.
I don't know, this is a very different beast from any balcony map.
You know, as someone who doesn't think much of balcony in general, I admit that I'm not sure what I think about this yet. I think it's definitely more interesting than balcony. It feels less random than balcony, I'll say that.
Starting things off with a quick little flirt. Start the game, as is the norm. 34% on the white test. Good position for a double agent as well. Well, double agent steps away, so that opportunity is lost. Luckily, there will be many more in the future.
yeah. This is not one. This is not the kind of map where you generally need to chase your ST, except for maybe the very end of the game.
Plenty of time to work with. Ambassador keeping herself in a vulnerable but easy to spot location. So.
Yeah, this is a tough map. You really can't hope to get away with a Purloin. Even if you green it, you're probably in trouble, and if you don't green it, you're doomed. One of your best options usually is to try to get a drink fingerprint and one briefcase, or just hope the AI does enough in the way of missions.
Look at this. Fake banana bread comes off. One low light, but one low light back up to neutral.
Yeah, it's hard to know what the highlights and lowlights mean on a map like this. Some people will highlight everyone who could have done the real BB. That's what I normally do, and leave everyone else neutral. Sometimes they'll lowlight them instead, but it's very fluid. These highlights and lowlights don't mean as much.
Second flirt comes off. We're up to 85% now, guaranteed free flirt, but we only have 45 seconds left to play and no completions as of yet. These are getting really tight. We're going to have a pretty dramatic finish if this is going to happen.
Frame attempt. I don't see anything else that really makes sense. Scallions doesn't appear to be trying to finish. Seducing just to give himself the option, but then at a certain point he clearly just stopped. Maybe he'll Purloin. Okay, there it is. I was going to say maybe he'll Purloin to force a shot.
Well, he forced a shot. It happened. It happened.
Purloin on Courtyard too, but it's pretty darn close.
That was a little bit rough. It looked like the sniper positioning was that same spot up in the corner that people like to do, but is very exploitable as far as bugs are concerned on the inside path between the two conversations, but just not enough time to make anything of it. And suddenly Elvisnake has found himself with 3 wins in a row.
Yeah, on paper, I don't have a problem with idle for a while and then try to force a shot with a Purloin. But if you're planning to do that, that's not where you want to Purloin from.
Yeah, that's exactly the wrong position.
All right, now we see if Elvis can do any better. On it, in 3, 2, 1, go.
And man, if Elvis can find a win here, what a blow that would be to Scallions.
Yeah, it's already a really nice comeback. Couple unforced errors early, but clearly has settled in already.
Banana bread.
Very fast start with the banana bread coming off. Not wasting any time. And not a single light of either sort from it.
Very interesting. Some people are a little better with the old memory than I am and don't necessarily need lights on a map this size. Oh no.
Fake BB as well. And that does give us a couple of low lights.
Yeah, that forced some decision making. That's interesting. Some people have said that on this map you pretty much always want to do a real and a fake, just because otherwise it narrows it down too much.
I agree.
I don't know if I go that far, but I will say that it does seem like a pretty standard thing to do at this point, where you need a pretty good reason not to.
Also has 33% on the flirt, which is a decent start. 1 minute and 20 left on the clock. Let's see what Elvisnake does with it.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, you actually get a fair amount of time here, even with a third mission, but both spies on this map. But Elvisnake clearly not trying to idle exactly. It's just not lining up the way he'd hoped yet. I don't think this is deliberate.
was hoping the Amba would wind up in a better position than that. There's no play on the bug from there. The path would be too obvious. Oh no! And wanted to get it next to the ST, but got his spot taken. Another fake banana bread comes off. Finds a low light from it as well.
But can he take advantage of it? Here's the thing. Does he have confidence in the low light? The point of fishing for the low light is that if you think you've gotten it, you then take advantage by doing something like a bug or a purloin. You find out.
30 seconds left to play, too. Very low on time. Green purloin comes off. Now he just needs a flirt, but needs to run down that timer first.
Uh-oh. After this drink take.
Smallman takes it. Does he know? He knows it was Smallman. Does he know if it was white or green? It looks like he's lining up for the shot. He is going to take it. Yep. And Elvisnake, with 4 games in a row on a huge swing from being 2 down at the start.
Yeah, and the fake did it for him. The fake got him the low light, and the low light meant that the person who took the purloin, rather than the actual purloiner, took the shot. Makes perfect sense. Looks like he was going to win anyway, though, by the way. Yeah. He was close enough that time, I think, learned his lesson from before, and was going to finish missions either way. Big hats off to Elvis, not just for the 4 wins in a row, but I said before, the lowlights aren't worth anything unless you complete your missions, just like getting your hardtail out of the way isn't worth anything unless you can press that advantage, and he did.
He did indeed, but now we're moving on to a map with a very different style to it. It's going to be Old Art Gallery. 4 of 7 with Scallions on the spy, and the mission he takes off is the inspect.
It's interesting.
Just as a note, this is Scallions' old stomping grounds from way back, so I know he likes to pick this every time in the SCL, and he's always good at it.
Count us in, my friend.
3, 2, 1, go.
About removing the inspects, I think I've said before, I really think that Gallery is literally the only map where you can make a very good case for removing any mission. Because it's the only one where Seduce is really difficult.
Seduce is, in fact, very difficult. The problem with removing the inspects is that it removes the opportunity for the inspect swap at the end. This is a very large map, even though it doesn't feel like it. So it's very easy to fall behind on missions. Having that inspect swap in the back pocket can be a very nice thing, but it's gone now. He does, however, manage to find 51% to start off the flirt with.
Yeah, and that matters a lot because you really do have to chase the ST. And I think I mentioned this last week too. It's not so much that the map is big. Other maps are big. The problem is that there are so many places they could go when they leave that you can't predict where the ST is going to end up. So if you chase them, they could end up at a window, they could end up at a statue, they could end up at a bookshelf. So it's not like Panop where you can follow them to that general area and you know they're going to stay around where you're going to go. You can't do that here. It's much harder.
Animation microfilm coming off. Scallions with red film in pocket. Would have liked to finish up his flirt while he was there, but didn't wind up happening as he steps outside, looking for a spot in conversation to continue flirting.
He knows that you sometimes have to rush flirt at the end of this, trying to get out of the way early. Perfectly sound decision.
It's not happening yet, unfortunately.
Yeah, not yet.
Stepping into blue bookcase, looking to finish up his transfer. And this is a reasonably good character for it. We do have the hat, but it's a fairly uniform hat. But more importantly, we have the very large-bodied character, which does a very good job of hiding the movement of the arms for the hardtail transfer. Gets the banana bread off in the back conversation when it's very full. Lets off 1, 2, I think 3 lowlights.
For Gallery, you will absolutely take that. That's a very well-timed BB, and again, very full in the back conversation, which is the one that tends to get more attention when this happens.
Completely agree. Look at this. Arm clipped into the wall just a little bit. This is going to be a beautiful transfer if he decides to take it. It is green, completely invisible. And that's another mission done. 50 seconds left to play. Still needs a flirt. Still needs a fingerprint. And that flirt's going to have to be a green one at this point.
There's the Amba leaving a statue. He's walking right by. Let's see if he goes for it.
He has the time for it. He doesn't want to delay too long. Only 35 seconds left to play. And it's a statue facing the sniper. So with the inspect unchecked.
Not suspicious at all, exactly.
It doesn't bring him any more suspicion to be there, which is a very unusual gift as a spy.
Oh, but he's in a situation. This is a rough situation. He decides not to add time, which means he is banking on this green test for the win.
This has to be green. Let's see if he can hit it. Start the action test. Hits the white. 6 seconds left. Has the desperation purloin right on the end. Takes a drink. Is it going to come off? It's white. Does it happen? It does. Overtime comes off. Shoots the ambassador.
Oh,
I'm
no.
sorry.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, he must be cringing. That's rough. I think there's so much visual occlusion on gallery. It's genuinely hard sometimes to tell which arrow is over which head, especially when those statues line up like that. There wasn't anyone else's statues this time, but in the heat of the moment, very hard to tell. That's rough.
I'm speechless.
I know. I'll do enough talking for both of us. I got to give Scallions credit. I like his decision to bank on the green, knowing that he could rush something else. He barely got that purloin off in time, though. Just barely. He must have been so mad when it happened. You can't bank on failure and go for that time ad, which might get you killed anyway with the seconds ticking down. So I like his decision. On the other hand, pretty darn lucky that he only needed, one green test to win, didn't hit it, then he gets a white purloin and gets away with it. I got to say, I think Elvis actually played that pretty well, aside, of course, from the very, very end.
Thinking about the purloin, look, if you think about the actual position he was in more or less the perfect spot for it, the back right of that conversation.
Yeah.
Elvis was just walking by as the green test didn't come off, so he had the moment he needed, but Christ on a bike, that was a rough finish. Let's see if he can make it up. Looking for a win here on the spy side of gallery. Scallions on the sniper once again, removing the inspect.
When you guys are
in.
3, 2, 1, go.
Holy heck. All right. Elvisnake starting things off with an immediate statue swap. It's a risky move, but I think he might have gotten away with it. Let's see.
Might have. It's tough. And even if you think you caught it, you start to doubt yourself. So many times I've talked myself out of those early swaps.
Very smart, tucking himself away behind the pillar. So even if he did notice the swap, there's a chance he didn't notice where Green Plaid went, and it looks like he's gotten away with it clean. Also 41% on the flirt, also a fingerprint coming away from it, also another flirt from the statue there. This is a huge start for Elvisnake, playing super fast and getting everything under the radar.
Well, now he has a choice. He can either press that advantage because he's pretty sure he's ahead at this point. Probably not a huge suspect if he hasn't been shot for those, couple forays into statues. Press that advantage and just sort of, like I said before, grind it out, right? Just don't make any mistakes. You got your hardtail done. You're not short on time. You've got a little bit of a bunch of different missions done. Just sort of keep accumulating and win clean. Or you can try to finish and rush so fast that even if he thinks he sees something, he's not going to be willing to shoot that early.
This is Elvisnake's match to win right now. 2 missions completions, a fingerprint done, 2 minutes still left on the clock. Elvisnake is in prime position, not even a highlight, and this is all on the heels of a failed insta-shot on Orange Dress.
Yeah, what's really interesting is that, as you mentioned, getting very close here in a position to win, that's tough, as a sniper, for sure, because you're supposed to win most of your sniper games. And you absolutely have to now. But, I don't think either player can feel very bad. One falls behind 2-0, another falls behind 4-2. They're probably both just kind of happy to be playing for a win here still.
Oh, yeah. Elvisnake in blue bookcase. Steps away with blue book in hand. Time is starting to become an issue, but if he can find a fingerprint somewhere and then bring this book and tuck it away in red, that's the game, and that's the match. Let's see what happens with Elvisnake moving forward. It's going to be a little tight, but he's opting for the banana bread as his other mission instead of needing to finish fingerprint.
Reasonably well timed. Definitely several lowlights, but nothing out of the ordinary for Gallery.
I think that's 5, actually.
Well, yeah, I was wondering if he was going to get them all. Depends on how aggressive he wants to be. Although, just not cataclysmic is the main thing.
Indeed,
but
5 is a little bit heavy. Elvisnake, look. Oh my god! Gets shot on the turnaround on the inside? I have no idea what just happened, but I'm impressed by it.
See what happens here. He leaves very quickly after going to that.
Yeah.
At that point, he must have already been a suspect of some fashion. But
I just can't see no way you take that shot on somebody you haven't caught on a few things already.
It is really fast. It was really abnormally fast. And with the clock ticking down, you know, that's what you're looking for, is someone rushing around trying to squeeze something in. So maybe it's that much more suspicious given the context.
Oh, man. Either way.
That's really something. Elvisnake had not just come back, but he was in prime position to win that last game. He'd gotten away, I think, pretty clean with the swap, probably at that point. If Scallions had really suspected the swap, he would have had to fire at the BB.
Good God, what a crazy set this has been. Up and down, emotions flying, and now we're in overtime. And
against all odds.
Elvisnake picks Ballroom 4 of 8.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, well, we talked about this before with the overtime. What you're really trying to do is you're just trying to figure out what can I pick that's going to make them not choose to snipe. And there really aren't that many modes. Balcony's pretty much the only one people have settled on, other than some really weird game modes that can maybe just potentially confuse someone. But you definitely see a good number of spy wins here. I'm not going to say that the spy's ever the favorite on this setup, but it's closer than most.
Scallions does, of course, pick to snipe. And if you remember, Elvisnake did sweep Ballroom.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, when you factor that in a little bit, if you think you're above average at a certain map like this, that maybe is a little less imbalanced than most to begin with, and maybe you're in his head a little bit because of the sweep, I can definitely see the argument for it.
Let's see how this pans out.
All right, starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
And it's Smallman once more. Look at this. Attempted drive-by bug does not quite wind up working out, but was in a very strong position to not be seen. So,
yeah, I don't know if picking Smallman is exactly on the level of picking Orange Dress, but at this point, it's starting to feel like a thing.
51% on the flirt. Strong start for Elvisnake, even with the missed bug. And it looks like he's eyeing up green bookcase. He's probably not going to go fast enough to grab the briefcase from it because he wants a... No, he's just going. Maybe take the briefcase and then... Nope, just grabbing the book. I thought he might take the briefcase and then try to come back for the book and get 2 in one swing.
It would really be something. But yeah, I'd take the sure thing, take the safe thing. Any briefcase fingerprint is more valuable if you can get it.
Agreed. Does step away with green book as well, so might be able to get a transfer off on this. Finishes up his flirt in 2, has the fingerprint and a green book in hand. Let's see what he does with it.
Just independently, even with no intention of doing microfilm, even without any fingerprint, because it gives you a way to break up your flirts. You go flirt, you go get the book, you come back, you dump the book again. It makes it look like you're not just timer flirting, you're not just chasing the ST around because you've sandwiched something in between the 2 flirts. Not that people are necessarily tracking flirts, but I just think it's a good way to shed that little bit of suspicion that could come with it.
Innocently sets down the book. Oh man! Steps in the center statue, but takes a fast swap and steps away. Right under Elvisnake's nose, into the other statue. I think Elvisnake has this. What a move!
The statue is still behind the pillar for Scallions. He has not even checked. I don't think it's even occurred to him that someone would swap a center statue with, 100 seconds left.
What an incredible move by Elvisnake. He knew he had cover from that front conversation that Scallions is looking at. He knew he was small enough to get away with it, not be on camera when he went in the center, and it's working out perfectly. Banana Bread comes really off, doesn't even need the last flirt, and this is going to be the game. Not even high-lit, not even low-lit. I don't think Scallions paid Elvisnake a second glance that entire game.
I think when that game ended, he still didn't know there was a swap. I don't think he even checked. And I get it. It's hard to get away with swap on this. And when someone does, it's usually the last thing they do. Not because they've been shot, but literally the last thing they do because the game ends. But he goes to center statue, swaps with almost 2 minutes left. Just not the kind of situation where you're normally going to see a swap, but I think it was the character. I think he didn't even see it. He didn't even check later. And I really like going to the other center statue afterwards. Boy, and he had the extra fingerprint there just in his back pocket. Didn't even need to use it.
Now, Scallions has been in this situation before with his back against the wall, fighting for a draw. Last time it was for overtime. This time he doesn't have the chance to win it anymore, but he does have the chance to eke away with 1 point at least.
Yeah.
And so he does what any Scallion with his back against the wall does. He goes to Old Art Ballroom. Known 3.
And he picks known 3. Elvisnake takes the sniper side. Oh my goodness.
There are technically maps that are more like trolly than this, but I'm not sure there's one that anyone would dare choose.
Yeah, the question is, was he trying? The question is, what was he trying to get him to pick? Thing I ask myself: was he finally trying to get him to pick spy, or was he trying to get him to pick sniper?
He had to have been getting him to pick sniper. There's no way that Scallions looked at this loadout and said, "Yeah, I think he's going to choose spy."
Well, right. So, but the thing is, they pick sniper by default. So whenever you see a weird game mode, you assume the point of that is to pick a mode that they're going to be tempted to pick spy on. And whether he was tempted or not, we'll have to ask Elvis later. Obviously, Elvis picks to snipe anyway,
I think
which
this
is
just
almost
Scallions being Scallions. I don't think this is.
We might be overthinking it. It might just be weird for its own sake. Yeah, goes down in history as another Scallions thing, and has benefits beyond this particular map because he's known for it. Absolutely could be true.
He's not orange dress either. That's disappointing. But anyways, we're gonna find out how this goes in 3, 2, 1, go.
And this is it for this game. How this ends will determine the outcome of the entire set. If Scallions is able to find, oh my goodness, immediately going in the center statue.
Yep, inspect right away.
Taking a highlight for it, that's an unusual choice.
I don't have a problem with it. Basically, the only thing he's really saying by doing that is that he's not going to try to frame someone only. He's actually going to make some kind of concerted effort to finish. But he needs to have good party awareness here. He needs to see who else it could have been. He cannot afford to give any lowlights to people who have been to statues, particularly center statues or 2 statue visits.
Absolutely. Stepping into bookcase, I think now that he's done that, he's going to take it slow. He's going to scout out the party, start slowly building up his flirts, and not...
Problem is, he is at the party a little bit. He needs other people to go to statues. Sometimes they just don't. Sometimes you get one maybe, and they go to side statue, and then you're just screwed.
Yeah.
By the way, you young whippersnappers, I don't know if you remember, this is what we played pretty much all the time here, Old Ballroom. I would say 80% of my early games were on this map. They weren't known 3, though, I'll tell you that.
This is what the new players learned the game on. This is what the oldest players learned the game on.
This is what the new players run away from.
This is what we had before the new art. This is it. This is the original.
And we walked uphill to the ballroom both ways in the snow. Oh, a yellow jacket there. Obliges with a center statue visit. That's what you're looking for.
And Scallions, I don't think has rotated the camera to notice it.
Yeah, I hope he's paying
his
attention.
First flirt. Well, I don't think he's seen it. I honestly don't. I don't think his camera was ever in a position to have seen him there.
the sniper's perspective, Orange Dress was kind of walking behind near the statues and just sort of turned around. Is already highlit, by the way, just for being Orange Dress. Don't like that. I don't like buying into this. I think you should be ignoring the Orange Dress nonsense, but I guess it works on some.
That was a weird little path, but it was an AI weird path.
So General, who I believe went to statues earlier because he already had a highlight, he's been to center statues too now. That's 3 people, including the spy. That's all you were hoping for, really, is at least 2 other people that not only went to statues, but could be done with statues. And you got to time the BB really well now.
But Scallions has delayed too long on the flirt. Only 1 minute left and 51%. He's banking on this 2 flirt once again. It's bit him once, and now he doesn't have a bail for it.
Yep, but it's no 3
on his second one, so he does have time. Oh! For a second there, Elvisnake zooms in on Orange Dress, ready to take a shot as she's at center statues. No shot comes off. Banana Man was already at center statue, steps back in the side. That might make him a little bit less suspicious even. But
that was his hummus instinct kicking in and saying, wait a second, no BB, known 3, don't do it. It doesn't matter if she's at center statues.
No BB yet.
Gotta do it.
In conversation with DA, but look at both of the other highlights.
The general.
15 seconds, it has to be a time ad. He doesn't have any other option.
Could have done it with the general before, and people are in conversation now. 2 of the 3. Nope, there's Yellow Jacket.
So White Cast steps away from it. Elvisnake zoomed in. I don't think he knows who was at windows.
Oh, his mouse was over there. I don't know. He suspects it, but here's the thing. He knows he doesn't have to shoot, so even if he suspects it, he's still going to wait. Look, he low-lit a bunch of people. He's got it narrowed down.
He low-lit a bunch of people. Orange Dress is still in, which is huge. Oh no! Orange Dress in the conversation by herself as the banana bread comes off. BB hits. Seduce hits. No shot has come off yet.
And has to add time. He has to add time again. There's nothing else to do. This is the problem with known. What is he? I don't know why he's going there. He's just hoping the DA walks in a second, or is he going to fake again?
How? How has Elvisnake not taken a shot yet? I guess he saw the DA step away right as it happened, but
wow. Excellent control. At the end, just both of them were out. You can't wait that long on the BB. You just can't because they might not oblige. He actually had a really good chance at winning that game. 3 people could have been done with inspects, including Scallions. And a couple times they were in conversations with DA near the end. Now, obviously, he wanted to actually finish. He didn't want to fake. But at that point, I think you have to at least do the BB because you don't know if you're going to get another chance. I understand most of the decisions at the time, except for at the end when he went to another conversation rather than add time. I know you've already added time once. I know you're probably going to get shot, but it's literally your only hope. You had to try it.
That entire set, I felt like Scallions played really well, really solid, but man, oh man, Elvisnake just played better.
I think Scallions was more solid throughout the match. He didn't give away those early games. He didn't really give away any games, but Elvisnake's, his highs were higher. The best plays in this entire match were all Elvisnake, but so were the worst ones. So it ends up being just enough. Scallions playing a much more even match, as you would expect, by the way, from Scallions, who's kind of an old hat at this already. Elvisnake is sort of trying to bust into that second-tier players, but Scallions is already there. And I would say most people would put him as the favorite in this match. So it makes sense that he played a smoother, more even game. Elvisnake kind of up and down, but the ups were very up.
Oh my goodness, that was a crazy one.
Yeah, I'm really impressed by him just being so patient there at the end. And I'm pretty impressed at Scallions for keeping that game going. I just think at the very end, as much as he didn't want to do a second time ad, he had to.
I agree.
And it's just so frustrating because when you're Scallions, again, you're just hoping that the party doesn't screw you over. You're just hoping that a few other people could finish inspects and you pay attention to it and you time it and you force the sniper into a very difficult shot. You know, you got to figure at that point, if you time the BB well, Elvisnake at best has to flip a coin.
Indeed.
And maybe it's 1 out of 3 for him instead, you know, based on who could have been done. But he just didn't take advantage when it happened. The party gave him what he needed and he still lost.
Either way, the next match we are stepping into is going to be Bronze League. Second match of the night is JY versus Tarp Shack.
Yes, Hummus, however, will be filling in for me since we went a little bit late at the start, even though I just tweaked him slightly. I hope he doesn't hold it against me.
Oh, I'm gonna There's nothing I can do. Like, there's no equivalent, clapback, I guess.
But
Oh,
in your
look.
I'll just sit
defense,
here and stew.
in your defense, the whole point is that in the moment he nearly took the shot. It took him.
That's true.
He was
That's
off,
fair.
And then he reminded himself, "Oh wait, right."
Yeah, this is how you lose games. Yeah.
Also, in your defense, that was literally the first time you'd play SpyParty. Everyone
That's
does
true.
dumb shit the first time they play
That's what you should say
SpyParty.
every
Come
time.
on.
Though
That's fair.
Though
But so it goes.
in Hummus's attack, he had bought the game, he just never played it.
Yeah,
I know.
whatever.
And the skill curve on this game is so crazy that if he'd literally played 5 games, he would have mopped the floor with him.
Yes, thank you.
It's okay.
It's all right.
But it's
But
okay.
you
Now-
know what? It would have been
now you're friends
way
with all of
less
us.
exciting. Yeah, I know. But it would have been like right. It's but so it goes.
All right,
By
have fun,
the
you crazy
way-
kids. Thanks for
By
having
the
me.
way, if anyone in chat hasn't seen the
No.
SpyParty at the Omegathon,
Oh my god, why?
it
Can't mute
was
this.
so tense. It was nuts. Just like honestly, when I watched that, I probably paid more attention to the audience than I did to the games because, man, it was crazy.
Well, I got everyone talking about this again, so my work here is done.
Yeah, good job.
I'll see you guys later. Have a
Thanks for coming out.
See you, warning. Oh man. It's fine. Short story. But no, never mind. I won't tell the short story. We got games to cast. Who's up next?